it has taken us to kind of get into this game. Looks like we are about all good to go, touch wood as we would say here over in the UK. But yeah, there is certainly a lot of weird energy, I think, going into this one. It's safe to say, Cody.
There he is, arms up in the air. That is always a good sign. And, well, we've got visual on the server, but of course, this is still the warm-up. Oh, no, it's not.
Oh,
we're in
goodness.
the pistol round. Here we go. I can't believe it either. We got DRILLAS on the T side, Lynn Vision Gaming on the CT side, and with 15 seconds ticking down in this freeze time, we're about to kick off. DRILLAS, a lot of conversation around this team, a little bit of controversy as well, but they're looking to put those doubters to bed inside of this best of one. If they secure this, they'll be going up against the MongolZ inside of that upper bracket best of three. Winner of that one will go through straight to the major.
Yeah, so the journey is potentially short to that major spot. The next one going to be difficult, but they've got to keep their minds in this, of course. DRILLAS mid-presence looks pretty good here. Straight into the red room. In the same vein, Lynn Vision have completely backed away, playing a very, very disciplined kind of game. So I think they've done some homework here.
Fufu open us up with that kill onto the IGL of DRILLAS, Warrior 2K, onto the sidelines already. Homework being done, as you correctly said. DRILLAS currently locked down inside of mid. They've got 3 inside a red room, just being delayed by this smoke, but trying to use it as much to their advantage as possible. Senori, a lot of experience under this player's belt. Most recent addition to the DRILLAS squad as well, replacing Amsalem. Smoke comes in to be able to block out Amelia. This is a bit of a scrapbook roulette right now. Information being given up on both sides. Westmelon not going to be able to find too much. Well, he does find one with Amelia trading it back. Vem picks up one of his own also with MezTow. Now, soon to get taken down by Zaka. Did Zaka not see his legs? Thought he would have, but it's the P250 coming out on top here for MezTow. Now inside of middle. Trying to hunt down these 3 remaining players. Close range, it's not really going to do too much with P250. All guns, one tapped to the head at this point, and it's Flying who finds that final kill. Lynn Vision Gaming, it took them a while, but they do manage to find that first round.
Yeah, had me worried for a second there for sure. That did look a little scary. We got the Glock on 3 burst. Why are we doing that? You know, but they do manage to get it over the line in the end. A very, very strange game state there on that one, I will say, with the way that Lynn Vision were playing in particular. And DRILLAS, yeah, just went into the trap, didn't they, at the end of the day, which is good. It's nice to see them confident, but Lynn Vision, we talked about the team game being a big aspect of their win conditions, and it looks pretty good thus far. That was very well coordinated, and everybody doing their job in the game plan, as it were.
Mid control once again being gained by the DRILLAS. They look to shut down these angles inside, or just outside a red room, connecting onto CT. Mirror image of the previous round, but instead, red room control is going to be handed over to the CTs, and it's a slow walk, a long one at that as well, towards this A bomb site. Crossfire being held by Fufu and Zaka. All it takes is for them to untrain the aim for one brief moment. It will fall to the wayside. Senori straight one back. Zaka falls. Senori picking up the second as well, with Fufu trading it back and forward. A 3 versus 3, make that a 3 versus 2. Westmelon continues his aggression onto the site.
Yeah, I need to get this bomb down and get a return on this investment. Waro has created the space for that to happen. We'll see now. MezTow, I think, is a big name on this squad. Unfortunately, gets flanked out. You know, I was trying to set him up for maybe a nice moment, but there's not much that can be done when you're getting shot in the back. All the same, the DRILLAS, it's actually quite a nice round for them.
Yeah.
They do a lot of damage, get the bomb plant, and I think may well look to buy back in here.
Yeah, I think they probably will. Bit of a force off the back of that, but finding 3 kills, hurting that CT side economy, which we know is semi-difficult to be able to build up, but they've got a bit of a buffer in this round, especially with Amelia saving that Famous, putting that into the hands of at least one teammate to save that a little further. And DRILLAS,
right, because Ona never has his cap up right.
well, they are just going to have to force up there. Being held by Fufu and Zaka.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, guys, come
Looking good. I like it. I like it. I think it's a fair idea. This could be a real opportunity for them to, as you say, demolish that economy. to try and find a way into the round itself. Unfortunately, Lynn Vision, very, very prepared. You know, they have foreseen the buy. They have obviously gone in for a lovely set play of their own and come away with a two-piece. That is kind of the big man that they're going to have to watch here. Amelia is the player that is trying to pick up the pieces, trying to refill the stats left by Starry in particular. And in some games, he does a good job. In other games, he will go missing. So keep your eyes on Amelia and what he's able to do in the RMR.
Another player that you need to keep your eyes on is this AWPing hold by Zaka. He is going to be a pivotal piece for this Lynn Vision gaming squad. And, well, we're only 3 rounds in, and he's already got his primary weapon in his hands. And the rest of the buy around it doesn't look super fortuitous, but being able to find those 2 early kills onto Kvem and Waro does open this round up a little bit more. And Zaka is going to be sure not to miss his follow-up shot. Mestal trades it back. Zaka picks up another one. And even though Mestal finds himself a second, it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a 3rd round for Lynn Vision Gaming. And again, they're just looking to kind of stomp Drillers down at any which opportunity they get.
Yeah, it is just this opening, unfortunately. And those are the types of plays as well that you're going to struggle to get away with. You know, moving through the smoke, I don't think is necessarily the wisest or the most consistent, but Drillers just trying to see what they can get away with at the end of the day.
They got to push the boat a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. I like the half by here, though. Keep that like pressure on. It's something that's been very, very problematic for Lynn Vision, is I think just no breathing room to work with. Zaka going to open up, flashed up. The Tex will track him down, however, it's the trades that look good here from the T side. Amelia, a little awkward, but will go down quickly. Bomb has yet to be planted. Westmelon thinking about getting aggressive here, but decides better of it.
Yeah, I thought he was going to push through the smoke there, but a little bit more regimented. Does allow the Drillers to set up with these rifles, though. Kvem with the AWP in tow and Waro with the M4, just waiting for someone to get a little bit overzealous. Kvem does not want to scope in yet. A no scope if possible. Or the quick scope, that works just as well as Westmelon's on the corner. Now flying. Information given up. Know that Kvem's close. Could have rotated around, but he's just going to hold the same angle. Whiff from him. Of course, not the primary AWP on the squad, that being Waro. Plenty of time ticking away for him to be able to clutch out this round. Spots him out from range, and it's the recovered M4. Finds that first round of the RMRs for the Drillers. Saved AWP into round number 5 as well. A timeout being called. This gives Drillers a little bit more time to be able to work out how they want to approach this round. Now
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the key things. I really like what Drillers have done there, you know, the old grab a chill call, and it really can have a pretty interesting kind of effect at the end of the day. So, you know, you do have to look into things like that. And Lynn Vision, it's a little bit textbook of the region, you know, 2v2. They're the ones that try and make the play. They're the ones that overstep. So they have to be careful of that. I think this is something that Drillers will have as those, you know, sort of European minds, let's say, European approach to the game at the very least. They will have looked at that and said, a lot of these teams, they like making plays, they like having the directive within the fights, you know, so I think it's something that they really will tap into.
Yeah. Saved AWP into round number 5 as well. It's an interesting buy up here as well. Mestal on the on the P90, sorry. Instead of buying into that AK with the rest of the squad. Could be a misbuy for the time being. Of course, dramatic change is the fact that you can actually sell these damn guns now. No further punish. Back in my day, if you misclicked, you were stuck with that thing.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I saw...
Are we CS boomers now? Is that what it is?
I think so, mate. I saw an Instagram reel that was like, oh, wow, it's like an AWP clip or something. And one of the comments was like, oh, man, I didn't realise the AWP used to have 10 bullets.
Oh, God, what?
Yeah. So...
Dude's straight from the womb playing CS if he's that fresh.
It's gone, mate. It's gone, unfortunately.
Head's gone.
Yeah. You know, Old Inferno is like what we would consider a new Inferno. Do you know what I'm saying? Like players that are playing the game now would say, "Oh yeah, old Inferno is in the one on CS:GO," but they probably wouldn't be looking at the one from 2014.
No, they probably wouldn't be thinking the one that down Banana had the little alcove when you ran down the side hall, right? And the little openings and stuff. Well, we've got headphones off for the latest edition of the Drillers.
Yo, this guy is dripped out.
Hey,
what the hell?
It's the new Perfect World jackets that they gave all the players. I think they gave them to the prod team as well one site.
Hey,
I know I asked for the
crazy.
teacup earlier, but I've kind of changed my mind. How
That's
about we get some of these? Anyone?
He looks, oh yeah, yo, that is
Dude, they look
so
hard.
Cool.
They're so hard.
That is so cool. Oh my goodness.
While we're speaking about drip, what's the vibe check on the Drillers merch?
Ooh, I kind of like it. They got a little bullied in the UK scene, I won't lie, because apparently it looks like a Tesco uniform, which you know is like a supermarket here over in the UK.
Other supermarkets are available.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, ultimately, I think it looks fine. You know, they're gonna get a little bit memed because of the energy that they bring. But I think they look fine, and I like that it's a little different. It stands out. They've not just gone for quote unquote conventional jersey.
No, absolutely. I was kind of expecting a little bit more Only Pixel face, but they've toned it down for this. The stickers, however, and the logo, just straight Oni, which that'd be
he's a humble guy.
Some of those crafts. Yeah, he's a humble guy.
Well, I watched the interview, and I think he's like, you know, I'm helping people, I'm supporting. I think it's a bit more like us, the community, them, the players. They want the meme effect for the sticker if they are to get it.
Oh, absolutely.
But if he just started putting his face everywhere, you know, that might be a little bit on the nose.
The crafts are going to be deep.
I wonder what he's throwing down right now. I wonder what he's saying at this point. You know, like, listen, guys, keep your head in the game. Just shoot them better and stuff. You know, like I wonder what kind of knowledge he's bringing.
Scenery, gold for gold. Hit
head. Yeah. Listen, guys, we got some downtime. Get the cases open. Stay in the mindset. Make sure you're staying in the mindset, guys. That's the advice he's given. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hit that escape button. Straight to inventory.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if you're allowed to do that, like in an official. I've never really thought about that angle, but Onapixel really brings a new kind of outlook to the game for sure.
They say that coaches aren't allowed to communicate midway through a game. Is he allowed to just open cases, just like sit down when he's not talking to his team? Like, can we get a rolling check on that? Is that allowed? Like,
yeah, not sure, man.
It might be the first gold hit mid-series by a coach. Like that'd be.
Well, that's also true. That would be that would be a bit of a legendary moment. He's just off in the corner while they're, you know, farming the RMR, opening knives. Yeah, that would.
That's the dream, bro.
That would be something. That would be
made it to the major, but look at this case hardened Karambit, bro. This is it. Like,
oh man.
Bringing it back to the game real quick. So Lynn Vision, of course, certainly in the driver's seat right now. We've seen a nice round off the back of it by the Drillers, though. Of course, Sans tech issue with Scenery. They're able to have a pretty decent buy into this one. I think it was the saved AWP that went straight over to Warrow. He hasn't had it in his hands since, as we saw it being picked up by... Oh, I can't remember who had it in the previous round. I think it was Miztal, who had to hit a couple of shots just to be able to clutch them into that one. But yeah, the fact that we're seeing force buy rounds happen again and again against these Asian teams is, I don't know, potentially a little bit telling about the way that they play against half buys and force buys. It seemed like they had a pretty decent read on it, the fact that Zaka was playing that close angle, but then just getting overwhelmed by the barrage of bullets that was the Tech 9s. It's certainly not ideal. Is that a USPS necklace?
Yep.
That's heat.
This is crazy. Like the outfits, the necklace, you know,
skins in game man out.
The drip is out of control so far.
I'm here for it, man.
And we're only on the first day. We're only 2 games in.
You wait. I mean, there it is. There's the jacket.
It's growing on me massively. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I might get a career change and try and last minute become a referee.
Just admin, just so you can get the jacket.
Please. Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, I think game wise so far, it's a little difficult to really get super deep into things.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I set up a very sort of niche point that I think the Drillers have got a read on the region, a read on the way that they like to play, and there is going to be a great deal, I think, of patience for these players and the way that they approach things. That is sort of the key thing to really inject into your game from an early stage, and hopefully that they have done during the boot camp and whatnot, is the discipline game, you know. So I think that they hopefully can really bring themselves into things here from that kind of extra sort of level. And it's what someone like Sceneri coming in a little bit last minute, right? He is a very sort of supportive player. He's a role player. I think has sort of dabbled into IGLing a little bit as well in the past. So, you know, again, going to be another voice that's able to just bring a level to the game. And then Hadji has played at a very legitimate level within tier 2 as well. There's a couple players in here that you might say that it's like, should they necessarily be playing in this team? I think it's fallen quite nicely. The serendipity of it all is that as they've been dropped by their previous teams, that's when the major qualifiers started. Why not? Let's go for it, right? So, yeah.
You mentioned about Sceneri coming in with quite a bit of experience, which is good, but notably the experience he's lacking is playing on a team outside of that Kosovo region, right? When we was on Blink, Bad News Eagles, even Guild Eagles, that roster remained pretty solid for a multitude of years. I think it was almost 4 years that they're on that roster from the Blink beginning to the end of the Guild Eagles. And now moving into Drillers, he's playing with a more of a, well, let's be honest with you, it's a European comp, right? We've got, with the exception of, I believe, Meztal, it's everyone is just, it's people that he would have been playing with and playing against for a while. And now he's been thrown into this kind of new sort of setup. What is this level of tech issues? You're getting a fellow player coming over to be able to fix your PC. This is something new.
It's a little new. I think you know, we'll let them figure it out. You know, he's like, listen, bro, I got this super sick crosser. I got to show you. You know,
use this one, please. Oh,
yeah.
I've just sent you a trade offer. Use this knife for the game. It's the button.
Yeah. I don't know, but unfortunately, this is kind of the day one issues.
Day one jitters
that we are going to have. Yeah, it's the way that it goes, and I think it's fair. Listen, man. The more time we add, the better my sleeping pattern gets. So, you know, I mean, there's positives everywhere.
For context, so obviously we kicked off at 8 a.m. today, UK time, for these best of ones. Tomorrow, myself and Scriv will be joining you for the best of threes that start at 2 a.m. UK time. So it's a bit of a flip-flop between sleeping schedules. So make sure you guys have got your alarms set if you're based inside of Europe. It's a little bit friendlier if you are inside of that Asian region, of course, but still an early day for all people all round, and for the prod team and for the Perfect World guys as well. So give us a minute for a little bit slower tomorrow morning, okay? Just give us a beat.
Listen, man, for years, maybe there's a few watchers out there at the moment that'll appreciate what I'm about to say. For years, we've been a very EU-centric game when it comes to the time zones. You know, the Americans, the Australians, the Asian fans have to wake up or indeed stay up to sort of the difficult hours, the early hours. So I think it's about time that a big all eyes on type event starts a time zone that works for them, you know? So, and we have to get a little taste of how it goes. So yeah, I think I'm cool. I can hack it. And I think that everybody out there as well is hopefully going to have some of that excitement where it's like, yo, this is what I'm doing with my day. I'm waking up to watch Counter-Strike. Like, sometimes that's not something that we also get the excitement of, right? It's like, oh, I've got the game on while I'm at work, or I've got the game on after work, or whatever it may be, or school, etc. But now it's a little bit like I have to schedule my day around, you know, this passionate thing that I love. So yeah, I think it's kind of a fair enough, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But in the same vein, I also agree.
We're yapping about Counter-Strike. It's
yeah, well, that's it's kind of true. It's kind of true.
Is.
Yeah, but we love complaining in the UK,
absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely. That's a UK staple.
Yeah,
both in the UK CS scene and outside of the UK CS scene, just in UK. I'm seeing headphones back on, and I'm seeing Scenery back into the server.
I'm saying nothing. I'm saying nothing until we
I
get
don't
the
wanna
Counter
jinx
Strike
it,
back on the screen.
but
I've
must
been
be
around for a
eating.
while, man.
It must be eating only alive, not being able to talk through all this time as well. He's a coach. He can't communicate. Like, bro has like had to remain silent for the better half of 10 minutes while the rest of his team communicate between themselves and fix this issue, which everything crossed, it is.
Yeah. It's not easy. That's the one thing that would probably put me off from coaching is that, like, in the middle of rounds, I would want to like jump in there and be like, do this.
Well, back in the day,
go here.
do you remember?
Yeah.
This was, again,
man.
we're talking 2014, maybe even a little bit after that, back when coaches could communicate throughout the entire game and actually had a pretty robust effect on the teams because you moved away from having an IGL because your coach could essentially take up that position. You just added 5 fraggers onto the server and your IGL was your coach. Of course, that changed. IGLs became a lot more prevalent. Some teams adapted to it a lot quicker than others. And now we live in this world of kind of a mixed state where coaches are allowed, but only to be able to communicate during very set times. And a lot of their work is done off the server and outside of games now, where they're able to communicate and set up alongside analysts, etc., to build out these strats and these regimented play patterns. Now, I say that, Only Pixel is, of course, the coach for DRILLAS, and I don't know how much he's been able to support from a strat standpoint. I'm seeing a lot of piece of paper round by the DRILLAS. If these are only strats, I would love to see what they are. Maybe they're straightforward, maybe they're complex, maybe we need to be putting a little bit of respect on the coach Only Pixel's name. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's all post-event, post-day kind of jargon. I'm sure as we get on, Banks is going to have him on the microphone as well. You know, get some thoughts from this guy.
Came across really well in that HRTV interview, to be fair.
He did. Listen, man, I'm a fan. I've been a fan for a while. He's kind of funny. He's got some memes. You know, he's not afraid to get his legs out, which I think is great. So, you know.
Damn, just put him on blast, dude.
I'm a big fan. No, well, listen, man. It's like, it must be hot in there or something.
I don't know what the temperature is like in Shanghai at this time of year, to be fair.
I have no idea. I've never been. I've never had the pleasure. Fair enough. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. We are filling to our heart's content for this one.
18 degrees Celsius. That is peak summertime in the UK.
That is peak
God.
short weather.
Oh my God, we're back.
We're in.
Let's go. DRILLAS.
Hold on.
T-side.
Hold on.
Back? People are
We're not fully live. Are
we live?
But
People
we're at least back in the server. People are moving and
It's
stuff.
fine. Watching the beautiful game.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Flying's now standing AFK. Oh, you know what? Actually, okay, no, it's not live. It's not live. Match medic. There we go. We revert back.
But this is good. This is progress.
This is good, but Warrow's lost his orb that he saved from the previous round. And unless it's on the ground, I don't think we're going to be live yet.
Yep. He'll get rolled back, hopefully, he says. Well, it seems we're live. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we are just at a point of like, please, God, can we play the game?
Please, can we play the game? Please, can we play some Counter-Strike? While eyes and attention are back on the game, we've been talking about the DRILLAS a little bit outside of the server and, of course, some of the issues that have been going on. One of the things I want to draw attention to is actually the games they played recently. So they've been playing a lot of these kind of C-tier tournaments while they've been at their boot camp in Lynn. I believe they're at the big facilities there. And while they were there playing in events like CCT and Galaxy Battle, if you haven't heard of it, is primarily almost like a development cycle team, a development cycle league, where teams like Nava Junior and Spirit Academy and teams like Monty Gen play in. And they've had mixed success at these events. The most recent one they played in, playing Monty Gen in the grand finals, almost consistently reaching the grand finals, of course, because of the talent on this team. But playing against Monty Gen, which is the development team of Warrow 2K's old squad, Monty, did lose 0-2, and it was a pretty handily one-sided affair from them. And that was the final official that we saw from DRILLAS before coming into this event. So I don't know if that filled them with too much confidence, but again, a lot of the conversation we've been having about these boot camps has been, okay, yes, we're seeing them play officials, but a lot of the work is most likely in scrims and pracking outside of that. I just see another reset, and it looks like Warrow's got his AWP back. So I think they have just rolled it back, and I think we are going to be back in this very, very soon. But yeah, what do you think about that then? So the fact that we're seeing drillers kind of engaging and competing at this almost development level right now inside of Europe, do you think that's to be expected considering how fresh this team is?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they're at a point where they'll want to take whatever they can get to just sort of get the reps in and, you know, battle some serious teams. And I think it can be a bit difficult as well on such a short time frame. You need to be in a position where you're getting invites rather than having to qualify through things. So that is one of the things I think that you'd maybe give them. Yes, they've had a few advantages in being able to work the system in the Middle East and qualifier, but they've not had as many opportunities as obviously some of the other teams in terms of those reps, in terms of getting officials under their belt and, you know, finding their feet as a team. So there's sort of ups and downs with the system.
Yeah, this is a team put together for the RMRs, right? And the fact that they're able to go through open and then through the closed as well and straight here is great. And there we go. What else is great is that we are live. Hadji going to be able to find this opening kill onto Amelia, and it's not the most sort of bountiful buys there from Lynn Vision, and it's going to fall even deeper into the trenches. As Vem with the spam takes down the IGL of Westmelon. Zaka flying and a Fufu rotating over towards this B bomb site, and it's the hands of Zaka. This M4 is looking to put in the work. Smoke goes down to be able to close off one angle. Is it going to be enough?
Ooh, okay, hold on. The M4's kind of come alive here. This could be a little dangerous. Pulled off the reload. Remaining two are on top of each other. I think they will have been spotted. That bomb starts to make its way out of there. Zaka nearly getting it done. Hadji with a nice finish there to hold on to the round, but a little close for comfort. Certainly a little close for comfort. Lynn Vision, we've talked about the individuality, right? Maybe being something that's missing. Potentially Zaka can do it all, though. A nice round from him in isolation.
He's definitely the powerhouse of this team when it comes down to fragment potential. Plenty of people have been saying in podcasts and content in the lead up that if Zaka comes alive in every single game, in every single series, then they should be making the major. It's a shame to put it all on the shoulders of one player, but the fact that we saw how much potential we had in that previous round goes to show people know what they're talking about. It's crazy.
Well, indeed, yeah. Zaka, I think, is a hot commodity right now. This round, I don't think we'll see too much from him or the entirety of Lynn Vision, really. This one looking good for the drillers. Rolling through the motions, taking it nice and slow. A quick dink and a dip from Amelia on the P2K. I do like the idea from Lynn Vision, you know, try and get together and just get any kind of damage going. Yeah, this really should be an easy sort of roll for the drillers. However, yeah, again, looking good, right? They're nice and clean, nice and disciplined, not losing their heads in a round like this that, again, just looks super, super simple, and they absolutely know that they'll be able to take it, but they also want to get it just flawlessly, I suppose.
Yeah, and that was the almost one concern that I had with Scenario inside of mid, is the fact he got dinked down to 36 without really being able to return a bullet. I think Flying was tagged for 20 HP, while Scenario's obviously dropped down much further than that. If they just overwhelmed him at that point to take at least one rifle out of the hands, then hey, I wouldn't be mad about it. Unfortunately, though, Lynn Vision, they do just kind of fall back, sit on their laurels a little bit, and aren't able to convert anything with these pistols. I've seen Westmelon save here. Nothing to, of course, save. He's simply just sitting there waiting, posting up, seeing if he can find at least one hunting player. But nothing in his crosshairs and nobody to speak of. All 5 players with Drillers staying alive, and they do bring us level. It's 3-3 now, with Lynn Vision's economy looking pretty decent. Going to be buying up into these rifles, trying to claw back a couple of these rounds off the back of Drillers, securing 3 in a row.
Yeah, an important round here. I think the big thing to consider from the Drillers is the fact that they kept that economy so close. As soon as they won a round, they break the bank, and indeed the gap closes. So Vision have not really had a chance to fight back since losing their first round, such as the harsh game of the BO1 and that CT economy in particular. but this buy obviously looks a hell of a lot better. Early spam doesn't really result in too much. Driller's just holding outside of B right now.
Best time I might just send this, you know. Close angle, Zaka does look for the opening kill onto Scenari and is going to be able to find it. Flying with the swing. Flash comes a little bit too late, but still going to be able to find that kill onto Mesdown. Then on the spam through the wall, and Zaka's lucky to escape with his life there. Down to 30 HP. Surprised didn't just fire a rogue bullet back through. They know the AWP's in tow. Or it might go for this as the smoke begins to fade over towards ramp. Fires a dry bullet, but nobody home so far. A minute remaining on the clock. Plenty of time for DRILLAS to be able to readjust.
Putting a pin in it for now. I think this is another situation where they're like, we need someone to walk into us. Don't know that it's necessarily going to happen here, though. Linvision hopefully learning their lesson, but also just, yeah, really in zero need for them to do that. Oh,
You two
really
leave something to
presenting.
be desired for DRILLAS as well, right? We've got a smoke and a molly, and that's it so far for Kavem and Haji.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything coming in this round, to be honest with you, Cody. Like, there's no space, no utility, and just nothing coming. So I don't know. I think, to be honest, you potentially just move away to save. They've also made a lot of noise here, so you can see Linvision are super ready for this, and there you go, just get absolutely flattened in the end. Flawless round from Linvision to answer back, and that is just the perfect response once they get those guns back out.
DRILLAS could have saved there. Pretty decent back pocket full of econ, but instead they have decided to go for it. Pretty regimented as well, to be fair. Went in, timing was good. I think, again, as I kind of touched on, the limited amount of utility definitely didn't help them out there. Oh my good lord, what is this? Warrow on the boost. Can he spot Amelia? Oh no, the smoke is just not going to work out in his favour. Amelia, if he jumps on top of Xbox, he's going to fall fatal to it. Wanted to see if he can find out more. A Fufu takes down Kavem. The bottom part of the two-man stack. Falls to the wayside, but it's now on a 4 versus 4. Scenario information given up. Knows that there's someone inside of Jag at least. Falling back to cave now. Has Westmelon. He's cut. Envision open a little bit here. You two getting set up just for this left and right smoke angle to be able to finish over on this B-bomb site. Flashes and smokes coming in from both sides. Molotov in tow as well. DRILLAS now, soon as this molly fades, going for the execute.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not really all that much that Linvision can do to stop them getting in. Taking a leaf out of their book, trying to go for a boost play, but nothing really spotted over the top of it, so they have to let this bomb go down and mount the retake. They do have kits across the board, but really not much else to get themselves into the situation. Warrow taking quite a few fights, does hit a fair few shots. We'll see whether they come up true in the next few moments here. Zaka finding one up close. He does get side swiped, not really checking his angles super cleanly. There's not a lot of time here as well to get on this bomb. Scenario eventually overwhelmed. Haji left to clutch it up, but he cannot get it done. And I think they just about get it thanks to the kits. Really close to the wire stuff, but Linvision, they will string them together.
Yeah, great retake there from Linvision. Seemed like DRILLAS had it all under control, but all it took was one fell swoop for the Chinese roster them to be able to take them down. This time it was really unfortunate for Warrior, actually. Finds that opening kill, but not able to find the second. I think if you play Trigger Discipline for maybe half a second longer, we get the player who swings out of Jaguar and then potentially finds Amelia as well as he swings on through. Certainly changes the perspective of the round ever so slightly, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. It's going to be a 5th round on the board here for Linvision. Quite a close game, to be honest with you. These rifle rounds, Linvision has been coming... Oh, I don't know. They've certainly seemed a little bit stronger than DRILLAS right now. It seems like that team play element that you were alluding to earlier on is a little bit deeper in the strat book rather than what the DRILLAS have. I mean, they're good on these force buys, and that's what we're going to be seeing here, but all comes down to Linvision potentially overextending and then getting punished by it.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say at this point. Still a little early for me, but Linvision just immediately have that bounce factor off of each other, this unspoken coordination. Site partners know each other really well, you know. Things like this are playing into their hands quite nicely. And again, I have to reiterate, yes, it's 5-3, but it feels like Drillers have only really earned one round, and then the other two fell into place, you know. So that is the game, that is the way that it goes, but I think it is worth considering that Lynn Vision, their consistency is a lot better than the scoreline would suggest.
I love this Westmoreland angle. He's been playing this for the entire half so far, just posted up inside of Jag for early information, then falls back to Cave and is the first face that usually the Drillers see when they push over towards this B-bomb site. Not afraid to get up close and personal as the IGL against this EU stack. Time is ticking down though, Scriv. I mean, they're running out of time, the Drillers, to be able to execute on anything here, but it seems like Lynn Vision have read this well, that they are still poised towards this B bomb site with little to no physical information given up by the Drillers. It just seems to be a good read.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of depth thus far to the Drillers game. They're on this low buy as well. It is predictable that the Mixie team would go in for the B first play, and you can see why, because it works. They find 3. They've earned the bomb site. They've got that bomb down. There's also an AK in the right hands here. Hadji could do a lot of damage. Flash comes over. Shadow spotted. Pre-fire is there, but it's not enough. However, Zaka finds himself alone all of a sudden. Mac 10, double swing, in fact, will take him down. And a big round there. Bit of energy in from the Drillers. A massive find. And again, the force buys are a problem here.
So interesting. It feels like they throw the strat book out the window, because clearly they have a plan for this. Clearly they have a plan for this big pop onto the B-bomb site, run the time down as long as you can. But when they get onto the site, it's just individuals playing their own game of Counter-Strike, essentially, taking these big fights and getting really up in the face of their opposition of the CTs. I'd see some more of that, but this time with rifles in tow. If not rifles in tow, not many of those going around for Lynn Vision right now, only 2 of them, and one of them is already taken out. That's a foo-foo. The pistol of Westmoreland does manage to find Scenari. Can recover that AK if he's quick enough, but I think he shot it down the hill. Oh yeah, he's hunting for it. Does manage to pick it up, but just that smoke fade could have been lethal. Medztab takes down the IGL of Westmoreland. Soon to be swinging into the crosshairs of Zaka along with Hadji as well. Everyone's just a little bit low. This Deagle could be brutal, and it is. Rips the head clean off of Hadji as he spams on through the wall. Now in a 3 versus 2. More damage can be done here if you can hit the shots, but it's not to be the case from Zaka. Flying with this M4, still yet to pull the pin, pull the trigger on this round. Soon to be swinging on through, but Meztow is just too crisp. It's a 5th round on the board for the Drillers, about to bring us level once again. Now we're starting to see a little bit more from this T side.
Yeah, Lynn Vision have had a tough gig, man. The money's just never really been in for them. As soon as they lose a round, they're straight back on the back foot, really. So I think once this first half is done with, they'll be pretty happy. You know, they can move on to the T side, less of a worry, and they can control the directive. Drillers keeping up, though. And this is the thing, right? We were like, firepower is there. They can certainly do it. Will they be able to bring a team game? And the answer so far is certainly not no. Yeah, exactly. So I think that there is room for this Drillers team to keep things competitive here. The ground has not fallen out from underneath them, which I think was, again, another sort of semi-expectation, is that maybe they just sort of come to the tournament and they don't really have much of a game at all, but it looks pretty legit here. Nice from Westmoreland. So a few more bodies to get through. Ooh, that's the bomb. Small oversight from Kvem has made life awkward, and this has become very, very expensive against the USPs. Flying trying to change up the game, but he's, of course, got no armor, only got the USP, so he does what he can. It's not enough, but some kill bonus in there, I suppose.
I mean, a commitment of absolutely nothing. I think that was USPs and maybe even one PTK in the round, and that was it. Managed to find 3s and, like you said, make it expensive for the Drillers. The best Lynn Vision could have asked for of that round, and for a brief moment, it looked like they were going to be able to take it. That would have been debilitating for this T side, but the only pixel cohort taking the lead for the very first time in this best of one. Are they going to be able to hold on to the reins? Or are Lynn Vision going to be able to smack back? Only time will tell. Full buy from both sides. U2 across the board as well. Level playing field. U2 being committed over towards this A-bomb site. Nades going in as well. So to clear out every angle known to man. Zaka's going to be looking and forced into an awkward angle. Does manage to find that kill onto Haji. Traded straight back by Warrow. But it's almost like they've just drawn attention towards this A-bomb site because look where the bomb is. Over on B. Medstal, mollies go in. They've cleared as much of the site as they need to. And as they block off that CT angle, Flying, nothing he can do here. Flash goes in. Kvem might swing off the back of it, but just going to be waiting for that correct timing. Spots out two. It's the hold back.
Ooh, nice shot. Yeah, and holding them off really well here. Some more damage coming in. The peaks continue, and he's just doing his job perfectly. They're trying to circumvent him and find their way in. Eventually, he will go down, but surely he's done enough. For Fufu, slowly but surely, making his way in. There's not enough time. Round's going to be over. They just have to hide away, whether the kills go their way or not. And Drillers, they will take the lead moving into that second half. Really, really clean stuff here, man. And I mean, this is part of the problem, as we were saying, the firepower lacking a little bit. The panic is there as well. And I think Lynn Vision playing like the team that's under pressure, you know, super, super simple. Hit them with the, you know, you go A, I go B kind of strat. And it works because it's just so flat that Lynn Vision are like, oh yeah, they're never going to do anything like that. They'll definitely be going A here and what. But no, there is a little bit of layerage to the Drillers approach.
And what sold it a little bit more as well is the fact that they committed Haji and Warrow over towards that A-bomb site, right? Who have been quite influential players throughout this entire first half. And kind of leaving Kvem, Mestel, and Sonari on the extremities over towards that B-bomb site. Honestly, all it took was one additional body from Lynn Vision over towards that B-bomb site early on for them to be able to, well, say the jig is up. It was a pretty early commitment from the Chinese squad for them to say, okay, no, it's just A, because of the people they put here. Does blow up in their face, evidently, but can't harm them in trying. I mean, look, we call them geniuses if it is just a 5-man push towards A and they call it, right?
I mean, I suppose it definitely feels over-aggressive. No bomb viewed, no real deep execute. So, you know, I think Drillers are in the heads of Lynn Vision. That's what that shows to me. You know, the over-rotations on CT side is usually a pretty telltale sign of, like, we have to play where they're playing, you know, rather than having confidence in your setups and your defense. But that's all said and done now. We'll see what Lynn Vision can find. A in the pistol and B on the T side itself, whether it changes things up. Drillers, though, starting to feel a bit real for them as they have the lead in the game at the moment, but that might be short-lived if the pistol goes well for Lynn Vision, and the Glocks closing the gap are indeed doing good work. Bit of team damage comes in there, but ultimately not finding any success on the Drillers' end. Haji trying to stay cool on the dualies, and the B support is exactly what they needed. Knife is out, and Warrow's gonna find it. Catches him with no ammunition. The first knife off the major circuit comes pretty quick. Comes pretty quick indeed. And of course, it's the bloody Drillers to do it.
That was brutal. You can see the cogs whirring in his head. It's like, okay, I think we've run him out of ammo. Let me just go for this one. And it was in the back of the mind of the final Lynn Vision player as well. It's like, I'm going to get knifed here, aren't I? This was really nice from Haji. Love seeing a big commitment there straight from it. Oh, the final 2 whiff bullets is so rough from a Fufu. But yeah, really nice from Haji over in CT to be able to open up that round just a little bit more. It was kind of a bit of a stalemate as the bomb site was over towards that Lynn Vision dominant side. It was the dual Berettas that find 2, 1 for each side. Moving to round number 14, with Drillers at 8 and Lynn Vision at 5. Current stack aimed towards this A-bomb site, with the bomb a little bit further away. Could get cut off if one of the Drillers get a little bit overzealous inside of mid. But no, they play the round, play a little bit slower, and Medstal is the first person to find some combat.
Yeah, making money here on the MP9s. Exactly what they're about. And indeed, trading 2 for 3 there, but loads and loads of cash earned by the Drillers. And this is unfortunately a much better start for them than Lynn Vision were granted. So, yeah, they'll get to build some of that cash, swell the coffers, moving into what could be the last stages of this map. Lynn Vision have very, very quickly got to get themselves on the board. They know that. That's why they go for the eco and the early AKs here. But, yeah, Drillers looking down the barrel of double digits. I like what I'm seeing, Cody. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm kind of here for it as well, honestly, dude. I think early on it looked like Lynn Vision were in the driver's seat, but Drillers have very quickly changed the story on this game. Kvem and Warro are going to be able to find 2 opening picks inside of mid after Amelia finds Mezcal. Punishment for his crimes of killing his teammate. Needs to be cautious, though, because lane is not secure, and if Flying got a little bit too pushy, could find a couple of frags here. Kvem and Warro set up together. They were holding mid together on that T side, and now they're doing it on the CT as well. This is their domain to play in. Have a look at this map presence, though, over towards this A-bomb site. Look how far forward Westmoreland has been able to get. He's able to clear out the entirety of CT. His timing is not against him. Senary's going to be able to take him down, but no. One tap from the AK to shut him out of the round. Westmoreland down to 14 HP, needs to be cautious about any fight he takes. He needs to play this off angle, and this wide one is exactly that, but it's a stray bullet from Kvem that manages to close down one. Warro finding Zaka, and now Flying nowhere to be seen over on this B bomb site, and it seems like Kvem has an idea. Oh, he looked away at just the wrong moment. Maybe Flying's going to be able to pick him off. He is. No one's on the bomb as of yet, but he's not to know that so far. No util to play with the molly going down, the flash coming through. I think that's going to be enough for them to be able to defuse the bomb. Flash goes up, looks for the swing, but yeah, bomb's simply not planted before him. He's sticking it. It's a 10 seconds for all of it as well. Flying, you're simply aiming in the wrong spot, my friend. And it's going to be double digits for the Drillers as Flying now looks to hold on to his AK, but it's not going to be enough. It's 10 rounds for the Drillers, 5 rounds for Lynn Vision Gaming, and their buy is not as bolstered as they would have liked moving into 16.
All over the place, man. I mean, you know, Flying is just way too slow for my liking. Yes, I get you're on that lurk, on that flank, but if they don't think he's in on good time, why rush the plant, you know? But I don't think it was a rushed plant. He was just a bit slow. It's really messy here from Lynn Vision, actually. Yeah. And this is something that we were trying to give them credit for, was having a bit more team play. Initially, it's a very, very good read that there's an aggressive move from the Drillers. They won't have protocols and things like that in place to be like, right, we've made the play. We now have to drop back into the follow-on setup. And you could kind of see they were hanging around a little too long in towards mid and whatnot. So that left a big gap. Lynn Vision should be able to exploit that. And it felt like they did for a moment. But yeah, just... there's some issues. There's definitely some issues here. The timeout is needed, but I think Drillers may well have done enough already.
You were saying you're a fan of these early timeouts, and honestly, so am I. I would have loved to have seen Lynn Vision take a timeout in that first half just to be able to re-establish what they needed to be doing coming into this T side. And, well, evidently that timeout has not worked out too well for them. A lot of damage on that Molotov, and just a random spam from Saneri through that smoke takes down 2. And now with Warro on the edge of this smoke, with Saneri continuing to chip away, this should be an easy said and done round for the Drillers. Obviously, the caveat being, bomb's been planted. So a little bit more money in the bank for Lynn Vision, but that's not the explosiveness that we've seen on some of these half buys from the Drillers, and honestly other teams as well. It's been a little bit more from the Lynn Vision guys.
Yeah, in the context of the round, they'll be happy, of course. 2 kills and a bomb plant is a pretty common line, but the BO1 itself, not looking too good. I mean, this is the difficult thing, though. I'll say this now and give them the kind of benefit of the doubt. I think they are going to lose this BO1. You talked about the first half and the timeouts and why they didn't take any. Again, I think the game just got away from them because of the money. In reality, the strength of their rounds and the prowess on the rifles looked a lot better than Drillers.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the Drillers win the pistol in the second half here as well. So they've got their claws in very, very early on. We're going to see. I think Lynn Vision do have it in them to potentially pull things a hell of a lot closer here. Continued aggression keeps coming in. Missed shots. The Drillers are a little nervy, man.
Yeah, I really don't like this. I mean, if Hadji was able to find at least one kill here, then yeah, it was great. But Kvem finds the opener after so much damage has been done. A lost player, Warrow falls as well. Soneri's down to 17 HP. Kvem is trying to hold down the fort as much as possible. There's too many angles, too many options for him to be able to take here. And inside of mid, MezTal's got to make a decision. Takes down one, looks over towards elbow to pick up that first one. Looks for the second of a Fufu, but he clutches it out onto flying as well to take us to map point, and he just pumps the air inside of the playroom. It's a 12th round for DRILLAS, but it looked like the opportunity for Lynn Vision to get back into it shut down at the hand of MezTal.
Really, really great stuff. I mean, he's the player that I think actually a lot of people have been pointing out as potentially their most impressive. You know, Warrow steals a bit of the limelight because he just does so much, but MezTal is a hidden gem. You know, I think that they have sort of given the opportunity, given the platform with this team, and you never know, man, if they find good success here and potentially make the major and whatnot, MezTal might actually see a player, be a player rather, that we see being moved up and taken out of that Israeli scene once again. So yeah, definitely keep an eye on him for the event, and maybe even keep an eye on him into next year.
Absolutely. What do Lynn Vision need to do here, Scriv, to be able to get themselves back into this one? Obviously, avoiding the obvious of win a hell load of rounds.
Do you know, listen, man, if I knew the answer to that question at this point, I would probably be either A, not in this job, or B, getting a lottery ticket right now. I don't think there is a lot that they can do from this position, unfortunately. You have to take a few rounds in stride. You have to try and make things competitive here. This now becomes about tomorrow, you know, and proving to yourself that you do actually have a bit of a game here. But this is wild. This is wild, okay? And this is DRILLAS playing very well. This is Lynn Vision getting the short end of the stick, but also really, really disappointing us here. And I don't think they have given a lot of respect across to the DRILLAS side. And they're being punished for it, you know? They've not done their homework, and they are being punished. However, in this round, they've got a lead, so should be able to do something with that.
Yeah, it's an important one. B-bomb site currently under that T side control. Emilio inside of mid, taking down Warrow. On in the side for a while. Oh, MezTal timing not working out in his favour. Just now Hadji in a 1 versus 4 and make that, well, a 4 versus 0 as the single tap comes through from Westmelon once again. He's been so crisp on some of these rounds, honestly. Like, we've been seeing flourishes of him just being like, actually, no, you're dead, within the first couple of seconds of a fight. Sometimes even less than that. Opportunities certainly presenting themselves here. Looks like DRILLAS were trying to get this one over and done with, but the opening frags just chipped away any form of advantage that DRILLAS could have hoped to have in this round. Now we're moving to round number 19. It's a 12-6 lead to the DRILLAS right now. 6-round deficit. The remaining 6 Lynn Vision would need to be able to take us to an OT. Kvem, while blind from a team flash, does still manage to take down the highest fragger of Lynn Vision, that being Zaka.
Kvem. He's got to be careful here. Smoke's a little late. Yeah, gets caught reloading. Amelia had crept in. So, pretty big trade back for Lynn Vision to give them a lot of control. You know, look at what that kill does. It takes pressure away from middle. A big, big gap. DRILLAS feel like they've got to do something here. Lynn Vision know that they've got to do something here. And they were ready. So, that is what Lynn Vision are capable of. It's good to see. It may well be too little too late, but the DRILLAS, a wake-up call for them, and yeah, I think they also have to watch themselves moving forwards now.
MezTal showing flourishes of Techno in that previous game, getting control of ramp and lane, but unlike Techno, not able to convert on at least one kill as he holds this awkward angle. No backup from the rest of the team as well, and well, Lynn Vision, they have the money to play with now for them to be able to hunt down Warrow. Don't believe this AWP has been revealed as of yet, as he's got a full mag and a full clip. So he is just going to be trying to hold on to this for as long as possible, have a hero AWP into round number 20. Amelia's going to try and rip it from the clutches as quick as possible. Warrow spotted out. Wow, yeah. Uncharacteristicness from him as flying. Great little team play there we saw from him and a Fufu. Not towards the tail end, but midway through the rounds, taking that lane control, swinging them through together, delaying it, ensuring no one can get behind enemy lines. 5 rounds in it here for Lynn Vision. Can they bring this back?
Time to see what the drillers are made of, I suppose. Their first real test here. They are thus far performing well, but Lynn Vision starting to come alive, and they do have the capability. Eco out for the drillers. Simple game plan, you know, just sort of send yourself in there, but yeah, this is the little team that could, and it's this next rifle round, man. You're going to be 12-8. You lose that, it easily goes 12. Right, so a lot of work if they lose the next rifle.
Could be the deciding round here. But the full buy now up for the drillers, with the exception of Warrow, who's going to be forced down onto that M4 instead of the trusty AWP that we know he deeply loves. Still been putting up the numbers with the rifles either way. Economy has left something to be desired from a util standpoint. We're seeing singular flashes from players, smokes across the board and mollies as well, just to be able to hold off anyone that they can. Kvem inside of mid again. This mid presence is massive, but Lynn Vision have just called a bit of a masterclass here as they push on over towards this A bomb site. Vestal's the only person to be able to face them, and it's through the edge of a smoke. The bomb is soon to be planted as the site is completely lost, and drillers now have a 5-on-5 retake for them to be able to, well, qualify to the next stage. Spams on through the smoke from Donut, flying drop down to 20 HP. I don't think it's going to be enough, Squib.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a very retakeable bomb site, of course, and that is ultimately what drillers are banking on, but can they deal with the post plant here? 1 for 1 thus far. Got to get somebody on that bomb. That's a lot of damage done. Someone needs to finish it off. We'll see, though. Kvem, confident, moves forward. A big kill coming in from him. He does get traded out. There's no time to go in for the defuse, unfortunately. And it is just Warrow that survives it. That is the thing. Lynn Vision, really, really nice call, okay? As you mentioned, the bomb site itself is open and there's no one really there from the drillers. So they get caught off by that, first of all. But it puts a lot of strain onto your retake. How deep does it go? How much prep have you done? How much work have you done? And another thing as well, Lynn Vision, there's a lack of money for drillers. Lynn Vision know this. There's unlikely to be a kit. There's unlikely to be spare nades to go for that retake. So they just send it, and it is a real limit test of what drillers are capable of in that round, and they fail it.
They're doing it again. They're just setting themselves up for this A all over again, and it's Mestal up close with Warrow on the boost, but he's not going to be able to convert anything here. Mestal's good for the opening kill, but Kvem needs to go massive with this deagle if he wants an opportunity for the Drillers to close out this game here and now. But it's pistols for the remaining 2 players, Kvem and Sonari. Sonari's going to be able to pick up 1. Smoke goes down, but he's not in a position to be able to recover any form of weaponry. Kvem, backlines, inside of CT. The smoke completely blocks him off, as does the molly, and they would have heard that connect. Amelia knows that he's going to be up close and personal, but he is ahead of the Molotov for the time being. As the smoke begins to go down, it's going to get re-smoked, and Kvem thinks about the opportunity that has presented itself. Can he lurk himself all the way round through Temple and find a single kill, maybe even a single weapon to take on through to the next? Due to the force, the buy is going to be okay for the Drillers moving into the next round, but it's not going to be as large and bountiful as they would have liked. If that 1D connected, Kvem had an opportunity here, but it's not to be the case. It's double digits now for Lynn Vision, and that timeout they took, what was this, 5, maybe 6 rounds ago, has completely reinvigorated them, and the Drillers pay them back in kind.
Yeah, the timeout coming in from the Drillers here. The luck is running out. I did say, man, Lynn Vision could get themselves going on this T side when they have that control of the fights, when they have an ease of rifle rounds. You know, obviously the economy is much, much easier to work with. So Drillers starting to struggle. And they will be sweating a little bit. Every win, every map they can pick up here at the RMR for any team really in the Asia Pacific RMR is absolutely worth its weight in gold, just because of how quickly you can be out and how quickly you can qualify. There are only those 3 spots available, and who is that third team? I think that's the big question on everybody's lips, you know, who is going to be that third team? The first 2 feels like we've got the answer before the tournament even begins. Yeah, there is a spot there up for grabs. Amelia opens up nicely. Talked about him filling those gaps, and he's going to do just that, straight through the smoke as well.
Amelia's going to be able to gain all of this control as well. Begins pushing on up, sees the swing, and I think they've spotted him out also. Mezzed out from the sidelines over towards CT, picks up one more. Warrior, really good job there to be able to take down Westmelon. Oh, Saneri needs to be really cautious about how he takes this one. Gets away scot-free, but wasted util in the process. It's a man advantage to the Drillers right now. And Saneri, what on earth is that swing, my friend? Dear Lord, pushing directly into the crosshair of Zakazor, forcing him back. The spam comes through onto lane as well. As the round slows down ever so slightly. A minute remaining for Lynn Vision to make something of this. Information is known of their current location, but do they begin rotating towards A?
Gonna smoke out mid and maybe try and make it look like that is the case, but the answer to your question is no. So there he goes digging in. Yeah, and that's exactly what they wanted. Zaka takes the fight. Maybe does give the game away ever so slightly, but it evens up the numbers. 30 seconds remain here to get this bomb planted. They will slowly creep in. It's all going to come down to Hadji, isn't it, really? He's holding. I mean, is it there? The flash is perfect. He does his best, but it's not enough. Waro, however, still in on the site, keeping the dream alive. Can't quite get the no-scope, but the bomb has been spilled awkwardly. Plant will come in. A Fufu got space to get it down, but he doesn't really have space to get away. Meanwhile, Meztal just doesn't give anything across. Trying to deny visual, trying to deny audio in the same vein. A Fufu is very, very ready on the angle and will indeed find the kill. That might just be the clutch that gets it done here. Lynn Vision have brought it within 1.
Getting a little bit vocal now, Lynn Vision. Slap of the hands across the room as well as they realise the opportunity they've been afforded at this point. It was opened up by Amelia inside of mid. Waro did his ample best to be able to find those 2 kills. Hell, one of them a wallbang on a low HP player. Does just miss the no-scope. I mean, the Drillers are celebrating in their minds as the second they see Waro pick up those 2. And it comes down to Meztal, and it just does come down to the lesser rifle, the M4 versus the AK, and just playing it a little bit too safe does punish him. Another timeout here for Lynn Vision as they're on the cusp of overtime. A force buy for Drillers because, I mean, what's the point in saving anything in the final round? Buy up everything you can. Util, your weapons to boot. They've got 2 rifle scrib with MP9 surrounding it, but more util than they might even know what to do with.
Yeah, this is pretty wild stuff. Lynn Vision. I knew they had it in them. And they've managed to bring it out at the very tail end here, of course. Big early damage. The Drillers need any kind of leg up they can get, of course, with where this buy is at. So, yeah, that's not a bad way to start.
Need to be cautious here. Flash from Westmelon. Oh, does just catch Hadji. Saneri's going to be able to trade one back to Amelia, who tries to back up the swing. It's a good trade, but it's information given away that there's a close range MP9 that they need to be cautious about off the back of these fights. Lynn Vision is going to run the time down once again. It worked well in the previous 2. Why not do it for a third? Meztal. Oh my goodness. Is he going to be able to get away with this? Zaka doesn't seem to have an inkling. He's had his eyes trained on this ramp for the longest time possible. If he can find this 1 kill, hell, if he can find 2 kills here, they have no idea. He's not going to trigger. He spams down 1. Oh my god, he doesn't get the kill on either. He drops them both low. Waro picks up Westmelon, but Saneri's going to go hunting. The team flash comes on through. The lack of communication happening there. And there goes Saneri at the hands of Zaka. Smoke going to go down to be able to block off that long angle. angle, but the rotate's already happened. Meztau going through mid with the backup there from Woro over on mid towards Xbox as well. It's just them on the site, and it's one bullet for Zaka and one bullet for a Fufu. That's all that's going to be needed. It's still the headshot for him. Looking for flying up close, and the MP9 does some work. And now Zaka, this player that we've been highlighting time and time again for Lynn Vision. The time is running down, the bomb is in tow, and he hits the first shot. He's got to look for more. He's got to hunt them. I don't think he's got enough time to plant. It's over. It's done. He misses it, and DRILLAS secure a 13th and go up to that upper bracket best of 3 against the Mongols.
Wow, okay. I mean, that's the game we wanted. That is the game we wanted. The DRILLAS will take it over the line just about. They have certainly been introduced to the many different approaches of Asian